It's Miss Martin here. We're actually going to go ahead and read our book for the week, which is Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. So for this video, I just want you to listen to me read it to you, and then for the next one, we're going to go ahead and I want you to follow along a little bit more in depth because on Thursday, you're going to get your test on this book. So it's really important that you are paying attention and following along so that when you take your test, you remember all what you learned and what you've been reading. Okay, so this book is really funny, and Miss Martin actually read it when I was a little girl. And also, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, we actually listened to this on the books when we play books in our class. We actually read it on there. So let's go ahead and read it together. So I want you to go ahead and follow my mouse just like you normally would, and then we're going to go ahead and listen to it. So our question that we are answering throughout the week is, how can we work together to make our lives better? And we're going to read about how some smart cows and hens get what they want. Okay, over here. Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type by Doreen Cronin, illustrated by Betsy Lewin. And we know that when it says by someone, that's the author, and illustrated means that's who drew all the pictures. Okay, next page. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets. No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. The next day he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Whoever heard such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Furious means that he's really upset. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. The duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. An ultimatum is if you don't give me that, then I'm going to do this. So kind of like a deal, if that makes sense. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. The duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown the note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. The next morning he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. The end. So, we went ahead and we saw that at the beginning of the story, the cows were demanding what they wanted. They wanted electric blankets because they were cold, but at the end of the story, it was actually the ducks that wanted the diving board. I want you to go ahead and answer your first, next, then last page to go along with this story, and it should be on your Monday packet, the very first page. And I will see you guys later on.